Hello everyone, this is Benny Minister. This is the next game on my Let's Play list. Along with EU3, which I've been playing so far, this is also a Paradox game. It is Crusader Kings with a Deus Vult expansion pack. I've also included downloads of the Deus Vult Improvement Pack, which you can find on their forums, and a Muslim Pagan mod, which will allow me to play Muslim and pagan characters through the ages here. I will be explaining the game as we go, although I don't know if you're going to be able to absorb it all. It took me a while to learn how to play this game. So we just go to the single player here. With the Muslim Pagan mod, you can see that I have starting scenarios up here, but I've pre-saved Hastings starting, and by doing so, it allows me to play many nations down here, including ones which are Muslim or otherwise. I'm going to be playing on the Count level, so it goes King, Duke, Count. King being the highest class, no one rules over you. Duke being able to be ruled by kings, but no one else. They can rule individually. Counts can be ruled by either kings or dukes, and as well as being independent themselves. I'm going to go to options here. I'm going to set the AI difficulty to normal, the aggressiveness to weakling. The game speed we're going to change to just very fast, and we're going to leave a yearly autosave. You're going to ask me why normal and weakling. Well, in this game, especially with the Deus Vult Improvement Pack and the game itself, the developers did not think about how to balance the system. So if you play anything above weakling, like normal or aggressive or furious, coward's okay too, the AI will basically rip itself apart in constant warfare, and you'll be able just to pick up all the pieces. So by playing weakling and normal level, we'll be able to it'll be a harder playthrough. Although, well, some people you can, I guess, play in hard or very hard. I've not really fiddled with them too much. It doesn't change how much money you make. It does not change that. It has to really deal with the AI. Alright, so we're going to accept that, and we're going to choose. As I've asked some friends to see exactly what they wanted me to play, and I ended up with one of the counts. I had told them I had to play a count in the Iberian Peninsula. Now, this might be a very fast Let's Play, because if you play in the Iberian Peninsula, the whole southern section, especially if you play a Catholic character, is Muslim. So we're going to be playing the Count of Vizcaya, or Vizcaya. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. My Spanish is not the best. And we are currently a vassal, I believe, of the King of Castile, which you can play in the EU3 games. So we'll just get started here. It might take you a little while to load, but it's a worthwhile game. But I would recommend you also save often in this game, because as with other Paradox games, it's prone to crashing. Which I hope it hasn't done just now. Alright, it didn't crash, so I paused it. We're now at the little starting thing it gives you here. The game does have a built-in hint system, but this is it. So you have your coat of arms, represent your ruler. Your portrait, that is your ruler. Provinces, it'll basically go through the basics. It's not very well detailed, especially if you go through the game hints here. I mean, it's okay. There are a lot of hints, but they don't exactly help you play the game too well. They give you some of it, especially this. The mid-13th century, the Mongol will sweep into Europe and east, attacking two fronts. So, they're very scary, but in my part of the world, you won't have to deal with them too much. Anyway, we'll be starting the game. You pause the game by clicking up here on this little date here. See, it says game paused. So the game goes from the starting year here with 1066, or if you selected one of the other choices, it'll start then. Down here we have the minimap. You can just click all over Europe and it'll show you different parts. You can see it's currently on a terrain mode, which is shown here, view terrain mode. We can change it to a regional map, relational map, which will tell you. I'll just get rid of this because it's paused, it won't go anywhere. It'll show you your kingdom and who is in the same kingdom as you. So since I'm green, this is my province, and we see that we're part of the kingdom of Castile. And if you click his, you see that he has 2 provinces. We are his 2 vassals because we're in the light green, and he has claims on this province of La Roya here. I'll explain claims in a second. The economic map, it's kind of broken. They're all shades of green. I think that just happened with the Deus Vult improvement pack. I think it's a broken system. I'm not going to use this map at all. We have a realm map. This is probably how you'll be seeing me play the game. It shows your nation by color. So everybody who is in the Emirate of Zaragoza, because he is the ruling king, or actually he's an emirate, so he'd be duke level. You can tell that by this around his portrait, is in red. So his provinces will all be red. Anything under his control. If you see here, Molina, it has its own color because it's independent. It has no king. It's a sheik level, so that would be comparable to your count level. We have a religion map here, and as you can see, southern Spain, as I said, was Muslim. And we have the white, which represents Catholic. We also have the brown, which represents the Orthodox faith. This gray here, which represents pagan. And we have the reddish brown, which represents the Jewish provinces in the game. There's only one Jewish starting province. One. So, although I might play it in another Let's Play, this time I won't. So we'll go back to realm map here. Down here, we can toggle on and off the coats of arms. I would leave these on. You can toggle on and off units, which will take away the fog of war. You still won't be able to see anything, but when you raise an army, they'll all disappear. You can toggle forts on and off, which you can see down in Syria here. Flips that little tiny fort picture on and off. You can zoom in and out using the plus and minus. This is as far out as you get the map. You can see the different overarching nations, like France, and then the huge German starting nation. Other than that, that's pretty much the controls here. Up here, we have our character's portrait, his coat of arms, which changes depending on his title. So, since I am the Count of Vizcaya, this is the Vizcaya province coat of arms. It's not his personal coat of arms. If you hover over him, you can see that his name is Inigo de Haro. He is 36. He was born in 1030. He's devotedly loyal to his liege. He has 100 piety, 100 prestige, 25 gold, a martial of 2, diplomacy of 3, intrigue of 9, stewardship of 6. He's the Count of Vizcaya, and you can see his traits there. I'll show you another way to see those later. This +0 is like your stability in EU3. The higher this is, the better off and little events will pop up that you can exploit to get more money or more prestige. Gold, pretty self-explanatory. You use this to pay your units or build things, so you want to keep an eye on that. There's no inflation, so you don't have to deal with that in this game. We have prestige. This allows you to grab other provinces. Like if you click here, you'll see all these options. It says grab title. If you hover over the title, it'll say, I need 180 prestige to be able to grab this title. What that means is, since he's the same religion as I am, he's Catholic, I can declare war and try and grab his land, which you have to get via peace treaty. Here you have your piety. As a Catholic player, you really want to keep an eye on this. If it's too low, you can be excommunicated by the papal controller, who I don't know who that is at the moment. You can check over here. I think you click the Pope. The current papal controller of the papacy is Matilda de Canassi in the Duchy of Toscana. Since I know this is this woman here. She has 100 piety, and she uses her prestige to excommunicate someone. I will show you more about that if I ever become papal controller, but I don't think that should happen in this game. When you click on a player, you can declare war. You can see I'm not able to declare war because I don't have a claim on his titles. They're not at war with our vassals, and they're not a religious enemy, so they're not Muslim, Catholic, or Jewish. I can send an assassin who you pay using your gold, and if they're discovered, you lose a certain amount of gold, prestige, and piety. Pretty self-explanatory. I never use this assassination system because it's hit or miss. Other than that, if you go over here, you can offer an alliance. So if you're an independent, you'll see, I'll show you in a second, it will ask them if they want to ally with you. As I'll show you in a second where that goes, if you click on them, it'll have you ally over here. He has no allies because he's already got a liege, so he can't get any allies. Only a liege can get allies, which you can see here is Sancho de Jimenez, who is the King of Aragon. So these two are allied. You can pledge allegiance, which means that you can basically become a vassal of a king or a duke, because I'm a count. If you're a duke, you can only become a king's vassal. You can offer a marriage, so if you have someone in your family who is eligible for marriage, you can marry them off. And some people deal a lot with this and try and marry their way into families. I find it a very hard thing to do, to marry land out, but you might want to keep an eye on it from time to time. You can send them a gift of money, which will improve your relation, since our relation with the Kingdom of Navarre is plus 46. You can send a fosterling, so if you have a child that is of your same family, you can send them off, and whoever, they can accept it, and they'll raise the child for you. You can grab the title. I've already talked about that, so if you have enough prestige, you can grab their titles. Usurping titles, you have to have the land that makes up a bigger title. If you see when I hover over my province, for example, it says Castile-Navarra. It means that is the Duke of Castile would have this title, this land, and the Kingdom of Navarre also can control this land. So, as he's the King of Navarre, I would have to control 66% of the provinces. So this one here, this is also Navarre, this is Navarre, that's Aragon, that's Navarre. I think there might be another one, and you need 66% of them. Oh, that was Navarre here. And to usurp the title, and then it acts like grabbing the title. You can go and usurping also costs a lot less money. I think that's it for here. There's a ledger system down here. Open ledger. It has a lot of things in it. Characters. So these are people of your bloodline. Oh, well, actually, no, these are people in your court, sorry. My dynasty there, that was the one I was talking about. So I've got one other person in my dynasty, Lope. We've got rulers in my realm, so other people of my kingdom. Our vassals, I have none. Potential brides, this only works if you're a Catholic or Orthodox player. If you have the mod that I have installed to play anything else, this will never work. You can marry a Catholic to an Orthodox person, and vice versa. And you can also marry a person to a Muslim or Jewish character, I believe, if they're in your court. Otherwise, good luck. Our Demazi, so this is our province. It's income, it's culture, religion, so on. Loyalty I'll talk about in a minute, and percentage I'll talk about in a minute. Buildings, this is just a checklist to see what buildings you have built. So the only thing I have built is a hill fort. We have manpower. This is our army. It divides them up to knights, light cavalry, horse archers, heavy infantry, pikemen, light infantry. I've not actually seen much of a difference for what you have. It usually just happens to be a numbers game. The army here is when you field an army, it will come up in here and you can watch it. Possible inheritances, though it says Leope, the other person will inherit my my title. He's first in line to inherit that. This is our titles, the ones we currently hold, and our claims. These are claims of people in your court, so if you have someone who comes into your court from another court, they will have a chance of grabbing a title. Our relations, this, I guess, if you want to check your relations to other people. We don't have good relations with many people, it seems. Oh, no, it just orders them a certain way here. Oh, they're all alphabetical. That's why I was like, oh, I have a lot of terrible relationships. Well, they're all bays, which mean they're all bays. They're all, I think those are Duke level. Not Duke levels. Seek. Let me just check. You can double click on any of these to go and see. So he is account level. Okay, because he's ruled over by this guy who, by his symbol around, is a Duke level, and there's a King level. You can see the difference. Okay, back